So I finally get the parts delivered this evening. Two things like were wrong. The thermostat that I ordered wasn't going to fit my car, which on the website states it is a suitable part. Even though it's different, I mean, the mistake I made was I should have just gone straight swap out like for like. But I changed it. I think number one, it was cheaper, and number two, it was a lower operating temperature, kind of 92 degrees, which meant that coolant would have circulated around a little bit more. It would have circulated at a lower temperature, so it would have kept the engine at a cooler temperature, rather than the other ones, which they operate about 103 degrees. So anyway, I get the parts. I find that the thermostat's the wrong part for what I need it to be. I was a little bit disappointed, and I checked back on the site. It does say, it will fit my model, but quite clearly it doesn't. So there's obviously some kind of a different setup or different type of housing or something like that for that thermostat. So it just means tomorrow I'm going to hit the breakers yard and see. I know where they've got a Vauxhall there, and hopefully the thermostats are generally the same. I'll check that out in a bit. But yeah, it's quite late, quite tired now. But what's the other thing that was wrong? The plastic rivets that go into the wheel arch, that hold the wheel arch lining on, they were too small, but they weren't expensive. They were a few pence each. So they're not like anything kind of major expense there. It's not a major part. I think I've still got something that I can use in the meantime. So that was the other thing. So on the website, it doesn't give a size for the rivets. It doesn't give a size for the rivets. It just solely the rivets. And you kind of you just have to try and take your pick and kind of run with the risk of having the wrong size. So that's basically what happened. The pump looks fine. The pump looks like it's good. So before I open the pack up, I'm going to make just doubly check to make sure that it is a straight swap out. But it looks absolutely fine. I just want to make sure, because obviously these parts came from Germany, and even though these parts are supposed to be compatible with my car, I've just found out two things are wrong. So I'm going to doubly check to make sure this one's right. Bit of a pain because it wasn't. The whole order wasn't that cheap for me at the moment. It's like, it's £70, and it's not like a huge great bit of money, but it is an expense that you don't need to be getting wrong. So I'm slightly disappointed with that. But hopefully I can resolve it tomorrow. Worst comes to the worst, if I can get the thermostat and get that resolved, get that issue resolved, get coolant back in the system, then if everything, I can kind of tighten everything up and just I might be able to get away with having to change the pump. However, that would be the worst case scenario if there was anything wrong with the new pump. But I'll look at it, and it's got a really clean mounting surface to where the thermostat housing sits onto it. I've got a new gasket for that as well, so that's those things are that's fine. That's correct. And so if I change the pump over, it'll have a fresh mounting surface, so it should seal up really nicely. Yeah, so I can't. Just annoying. It's really annoying because I'm kind of stuck with what I can do at the moment. But I'll see if I can get myself out of it tomorrow. I'll just take the bike out. I'll take a little trip out down to my local breaks yard, and I know they have a Corsa there. It's 2008, but I think the thermostats are pretty much the same. Um, I'll do a little bit of research to double check that, but I think they are a common part. So there's no reason why that would be any different out of there. That I can't nick that from there, put it into mine. Um, if the housing is different, if the housing's different just on how it kind of attaches to the water pump, I might be able to, if the thermostat inside the housing is good, I might just be able to nick that out of it, which is the only bit I actually generally need. I don't really need the whole of the housing. Um, but it's really frustrating. You can't just buy. They said a whole thing, and I don't really need a whole thing. You can't just get that thing, the thermostat itself out of it. So it's a little bit. I don't know why you sell the whole thing. I don't know why you just sell the thermostat. You know, um, I guess if you take it off, and I guess they want you to replace the seal and everything, but you can buy the seals. So I don't know why they don't sell them separately. Um, it's really hard to find them on like eBay or anywhere like that. So yeah, but then there's obviously a wait. So if I get it off eBay, if I can't get one tomorrow, and I have to wait to get it off eBay, then what that does is it's just going to delay everything, and I can't get the car back on the road until latest to be Thursday. Say it's Monday, so it'll be latest Thursday. Uh, all the system has been drained. I drained the system, so that's now empty. I can just put the plug back in, so I don't lose that. And then kind of get ready to kind of fill up and all that again. Right? I just it's not really. I'll have a look at the pump tomorrow. If the pumps if the pump is just going to be a decent swap out, then I'll do that tomorrow. Hopefully the weather's a little bit warmer. It's been really cold today. Bit of snow last night, and everything was like icy. And yeah, so it wasn't the ideal weather to work outside. But I can at least hopefully try and resolve this tomorrow, and then it won't hold it up. It's a really yeah, it's just typical. I need to send a message to the website and just say, look, you sold me a part, was not suitable for the car. It says it is. You need to change it. You can't. It's false advertising. It's misleading. It's not right. Now if that's held me back, and I need the car up and running at least. There's bits that the main function of the car needs to be intact. It needs to be a functional car, regardless of if I take time out to do anything to it or whatever. It's got to run. It's got to run well. So this is just basic maintenance. It's just changing parts. If things break or whatever, just swap them out and get new ones. So if you're selling parts, you need to make sure you're selling the correct part for that vehicle, not just randomly just say, oh yeah, that'll fit. I don't know why that's happened. I don't know the reason for it, unless there's a different type of housing for the same vehicle. But then you would sell. You wouldn't just you would sell like the part. for that specific housing, you'd sell it as one complete part. So yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why they do it like that. But yeah, unless the seal is so the only thing I can think of is the reason why they would do it like that is it doesn't have a seal with the thermostat. Now the only thing that I can think of why they would sell that for the car is the fitment would be different in respects of how that would then activate. But the issue I have is that might fit to the water pump, and you might be able to screw that up, and it might make a seal. Probably be some sort of gap there around it, where it seals to the water pump. But the thing is that even if that's the case, the sensor that plugs in. So in the thermostat, you've got these two little prongs that sit inside the housing, and they locate to where the sensor is. So then that sensor will then basically say what temperature it is. It might work without it. It might work without it. I need to look at that because I don't think I think all the other parts they won't sell it just so Euro car parts. I think for the same thermostat, like it's not going to work. But then Euro car parts, they wanted 70 quid for something you can pick up for like 15, 20 quid. I just think that's really extortionate. That's an extortionate price for that part. So I needed to say I'm not going to go there. It doesn't need to even need brand new. It just needs to be functional. Even if it'll get me through, even if it get me through the next 2-3 months, that'd be fine because then I can find one and get another one. Sort of, but even if it's like second hand new, it'll be fine. So that's kind of where that's happened. So yeah, it's slightly annoying that it hasn't kind of worked out a way that I would want it to work out. I think the sensor would pick up the temperature anyway. I'm going to have a look at that tomorrow, a little bit more in depth, and then see what I can work out and see how it might fit and might seal, and if it will fit inside and that gets sealed to the actual pump, and when you bolt it up, is it presses it tightly. So even though it might not sit, it might look like it's not tight because it might sit off the surface, whereas the other one, the seal, it bolts right up and it seals it really tightly. So it seals the gasket really tightly. So it goes flush with the body of the water pump. So it would sit off that. I can see it sitting off because the seals are quite thick. But it doesn't, just because they're different, it doesn't mean it wouldn't work. So I'll kind of look at that and see why they would say this fits the vehicle. If it's a case of it will fit the vehicle and it will work, I might use it.
but I've just got to get my head around how that's going to work against the housing and the pump. So yeah, I'll have a little look at that. But then, yeah, that's going to be tomorrow, and then hopefully tomorrow, whatever happens, I'll go to Breaker's Yard. I think what I'll do is I'll go to Breaker's Yard. I'll see if I can get the thermostat from another car down there, and I think I will have that as a backup just in case. I'll see what the new one's like. I've already opened it now, so I can't really send it back. I could, but it's a lot of hassle for me to then have to pay to get that sent back and all the rest of it. But then if it's their mistake and it's then I can probably wriggle out of that cost, probably just even get a refund. If it's can't really see how it being my mistake because it says it fits, says it's suitable. So yeah, Vimet, Vimet, or however you pronounce it. Um, it might just be yeah, it might just be different. I'll look at it. But yeah, so that's where it's at. I guess I'm just gonna chill out now for the rest of the night, get an early night's sleep, and then get up early enough tomorrow to try and get on with this and see if I can't get it back together, at least get it functional again. Um, yeah. Well, these things are sent to try. So hopefully it does work. I just need to know how it goes on. Um, if it can indeed go on at all, and if it can't, no, I'll just have to get another one. All right. Yeah. So that's good night from me.